and apparently they call Surfapig a maniac surf blog. Maniac. I never would have called myself a maniac, but you know, my wife thinks I'm a fucking maniac, so apparently people in Japan do.
Do the Japanese market gets pigs, or is it more just that era, and the pig just happens to be from that era?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question. I don't know how to answer that. It might be. I think so. I bet that's what it is. I mean, that's what attracted me to it. You know, when I look at, is it going?
We can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get it. Let's just.
All right, we're going.
So, when I look at, I tell you, for me, like James Bond, the early James Bond, the one with he pushed record. So, but you know, the early James Bond with Sean Connery in his like clean suits. Do you guys recall? Have you seen those early?
Oh yeah.
When Sean Connery's in there, just the suits that he was wearing, and like the interrelations between the men and the women, like that whole everything about. Or like traveling to go on a surf trip like you see in the endless summer when the guys are wearing suits and carrying briefcases. Like that doesn't make any sense right now, you know, but that always caught my eye. And then just the aesthetic of like this huge defin, like some of the Leroy Granis shots too, all of those things. When I was introduced to Texas, the first surf film I ever saw was Endless Summer. And I only saw that because my dad rented it and brought it home one day. My dad used to drive me to the beach all the time and taught me how to body surf and taught me how to be conscious of waves and undercurrents and shit like that. So when my dad brought Endless Summer home for me to watch, you know, my definition of what the thing to achieve in surfing was find a long, clean point and just find out how to trim your board up in the slot. When I interviewed Robert August one time when I was writing an article for that Slide Magazine Pig article, I asked Robert, like, how the fuck did you have such a perfectly engineered board for that wave? Like, that board was, there, you couldn't have improved the design on that board because it fit that wave so ingeniously. You didn't have to do anything and you were in the optimum spot of anybody that ever wanted to be on that wave. And it was like, no, we didn't. Anything would have rode well on that, and we had nothing to do with it. It's just the way things were. And it's so funny because it really speaks volumes on what pigs were then. They were the board that people had access to. It wasn't a conscious effort. It was, I ordered a board. Bing just said this. I was talking to Bing Copeland this morning. He said, you know, back then, when you ordered a board, you said, this is how much I weigh, this is the colors I want, and this is the size I want. So you would just tell them, you didn't say I want this model of board. You said I want this size, this color, this is how much I weigh, and then they would shape your board. Like those ones on that placard with all those classic pig looking boards. That's why, you know, with Bing's ads, he always had like the one with the girl crying. Bing's ads were so clever. If you think back, the only ads I even think had anything worth noting were Bing or Greg Knoll. You know, Greg Knoll with the cat one. Like some of those ads you remember. And Bing's ads I remember, they're just killer, you know. But I think what attracted me to the pig